Lovely to see you both.
Lovely to see you. I'd like to start the interview by saying that Olivia Munn is my best friend, and my only best friend, and she considers me just an acquaintance.
How often does that happen to you?
Well,
just once, right?
well,
You're my
because I'm
only
his
friend,
only
yeah.
best friend.
My wife, I consider to be my best friend.
And his wife told me she considers him an acquaintance.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
So Kate is my best friend.
That's true too.
I am his best friend, but we both consider him an acquaintance.
And her boyfriend and I are FaceTime buddies.
Yep.
So, you know, we just want to give you the backstory.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you know what you're
I'm glad
dealing
we
with.
cleared that up. Yeah. So you
have
have
time
no
for one
friends.
last question.
Do you mind if I switch legs every other question in terms of what I cross?
As long as I can keep track, that's fine.
Great.
What desperate people do to make an impression, I guess.
Yeah.
That is true. People go crazy just to make a great impression.
Yeah.
And
I don't like to put my best foot forward. I'll put my lesser foot forward to lower the standards, then I put my best foot forward.
I'm a big supporter of that. I feel like life is so much better when the bar is low. That way everyone is impressed with you.
That's how I got married, yeah.
You just have to surround people with like lesser people.
Yeah.
And then they just think that you're awesome.
Yeah, or just start out as a pig who wants to take you apple picking, crab apples no less, and then make your way up to sort of a gentleman gangster.
That's a really, I like that trajectory.
Yeah, I think so too.
Gentleman gangster.
It's also the name of my
Crab
clothing
apples?
brand, yeah.
Gentleman gangster.
It's true.
I like that.
Right.
This is our secret handshake.
You've rehearsed that, I can tell.
Yeah,
Well, we've been doing it for a long time. We don't have to rehearse something that we know in our hearts.
yeah.
TJ, as a stand-up comedian in an actor's world, have you always felt that sense of inadequacy, or?
No, that's more in the bedroom, you know. Sexually, I'm inadequate to a degree where I'm not even sure my wife and I have ever had intercourse. It's for many years we were having social intercourse, and I thought that was sexual intercourse. I had
does
them
social
completely
intercourse
mixed
look
up.
like?
That's just sort of what we're doing right now.
Oh, that's why he thinks I'm his best friend.
Yes, and you know, I think I started off as an actor, a voiceover guy, a stand-up comedian, an improviser, a sketch comedian. I kind of started all of that right out of college, actually in college. So I've sort of been in that world. My thing is, you're one of the few actors that I really, really love, and I think that's even because you don't really consider yourself an actor.
No.
She just is a brilliant, brilliant individual.
Oh.
But I've always considered myself a comedian, not an actor, and I don't get along with actors really, so I did not feel inadequate. I was kind of looking down at all these plebeian actors who take themselves so seriously, like, ha 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 ha, your jester laughs at you.
That's interesting.
It is.
You know, but I think the thing that, even though I'm not a stand-up comedian, but the thing that we have in common is that we just want like to make like a great movie, and it doesn't matter like that's why we love big ensembles. The more people can be in the movie where they're, you meet people who want to be the star. You want all those people around, and in a way then it doesn't. You're just trying to create something that people will laugh and have fun at watching, and so that's where, like, it's not one star or the other person. We just want the more people who can get in and make it real, the more we love it.
And Jen Aniston and Jason Bateman were very good about sort of doing exactly that. We were all trying to help each other elevate the comedy and the material, and I found that everybody was in that headspace, except for me, obviously, and. They're trying to elevate the material together, give each other ideas, and make it less about stars or who's who, and more about making a great movie, and in this case, a great comedic film.
Right. There was something.
Well, not great. You know what I mean?
He's still answering your first question.
But yeah, not
This is
great.
still going on.
There's something charming about. Okay, caught that one. About. Jennifer and Jason, this is their 5th film together. They've got, an obvious
chemistry,
connection.
Really famous people have a chemistry that's really that just works all the time.
Just pretty
You find
interesting.
the Ocean's 11 movie, all those famous people work well together. You can take one famous person with another famous person, they're gonna have chemistry. There's something,
they
there's
are
a synergy
indeed.
up there.
There's
At the top, there's a lot of synergy.
It's very true, but they have done a bunch of films together. They did The Switch, which I thought was a great romantic comedy, also done by Speck and Gordon. And The Switch was sort of an R-rated romantic comedy before they had R-rated romantic comedies. Now, The Switch, I don't know if you've seen it or know what it's about, but nowadays it would be called Sperm Cup or like Jizz Switch, you know what I mean? So that's how far we've come in terms of the R being open to different genres that are R-rated. This is one of those instances where you don't think of a Christmas movie and think of an R rating, but it still has a lot of heart, kind of, and it's got some exceptionally poor acting on my part, and then some exceptional work from Olivia.
He's telling you a lie. I mean, what you do in the movie is...
Olivia, I don't want to argue about this, not in front of Australians.
Okay. Can you do an Australian accent?
Not a great one. Yeah.
I dated an Australian, and he said everything you say in Australian has to be straight.
Yeah.
So just talk really straight, and everything comes out like this.
Yeah.
And you just talk really straight.
But we are also bouncing from like Kiwi to Aussie.
No. It's all the same.
But by
the way, we're not critical of when people come in and do American accents. We're like, oh, that's more like, Bostonian, or that's more Southern. They're like, great American accent. And I feel like in general, whenever Americans do Australian accents or British accents, whatever,
you guys
we should
are
just be
kinda
happy.
hard on us.
Just be happy that we're just trying.
We're trying.
We are
trying.
When a lot of people come and do American accents, they do they over enunciate. They almost go like old school, like
Hey,
JFK.
man, yeah.
Well, like they're like they talk like this. Like who I love, Kate Winslet. But imagine her from like Titanic, and she's like Jack Dawson. Everything she says is over enunciated, just like this. And we talk like this, or almost like an old Kennedy.
Like, hey dude, hey buddy.
Yeah,
hey,
or
how
they
you
go
doing,
Southern
man?
with it.
Yeah,
Or
that's
but
very
they talk,
true.
they're like, we just have to talk really bland like this, and we over enunciate. But we
just-
say, great job.
I
So
just,
I think Kiwi, Queensland, the beach with a
Yeah.
koala.
Perth.
It doesn't matter.
forget
I'm
Perth.
doing Australian, and
Yeah.
I'm killing it.
I just worked with Ben Mendelsohn, and so I got a little bit of, Australian accent from him.
Just to briefly get back to the film, there were a lot of crazy scenes. Which was the craziest and most fun for you to shoot?
My most fun was getting into the snowman sumo suit with Jason, and
that was so fun.
and it was the learning how to, like, we had choreographed dancing and rehearsals with that, and also learning how to move in it so that we would get the funniest movements from it, but at the same time, like, really try to dance. And that was exhausting, but so rewarding because there was so much preparation leading into that dance.
For something so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was really funny. The most challenging one for me is when I'm sort of looking in the mirror, getting myself ready to go. Because again, I'm a comedian, not an actor, and so that was a real moment where I had to act and come through with it, come through on that. And then,
Don't you think, not to interrupt you, but don't you think car acting is hard when you gotta like pretend like you're,
yes.
when you gotta like,
because we have green screen around the car.
and you gotta drive, or even if you're actually outside, that you're not actually driving the car, they have you on a thing. So you gotta drive fast, but like this, nobody drives fast and like this, but when you can't really move the car, you feel it's hard. Don't lean in. It's the hardest.
It's
car acting.
It's very, very hard. And I was driving, and you don't want to move too much because you'd be here. But then the directors came up and they go, you got to give us more movement here, you know what I mean? And so it doesn't look as real, but
You're like, you have to imagine there's like 78 potholes right in front of you, so you're just doing this.
Exactly. Yeah, you're going through a very bad stretch of road.
I think whole movie.
The most fun was I don't know, maybe a lot of fun moments. The slip and slide, watching Jason Bateman do the ice luge was really the Elf's ice luge. That
Were
was
you
really
there?
funny.
Wait.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Oh yeah,
because Courtney goes like this.
Well,
I
watch him. He's doing this thing, and I didn't really realize there's an ice luge, or this was it an elf?
It looks
it's a
like an
gnome
elf's
with
penis.
the
Yeah.
And I didn't quite get it until I saw Jason have to literally like cup it and insert it.
He was drinking. He was drinking and drinking.
He was.
But I thought those are all fun things. But my favorite was when I had a woman sitting on my lap when I was in the Game of Thrones, which is the actual Game of Thrones from the show. HBO lent it
We
to
had
us.
the throne, yeah.
And I just love, she was so funny. She only has one line, which is like, I want the dildo, but we did that a bunch of times. And each time she'd get off and say some weird thing, like, I didn't even get to the ice cream cone machine. You know, just the strangest things from this woman who had one line. That was really, really fun. I liked that a lot. I always like
We had a lot
being in scenes with people where I'm not supposed to be funny and they are, so I get to watch, I just get to watch the
We were lucky
comedy.
to have a lot of people come in and have, like, just nail these small parts, because those really matter.